Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Sharmit. From this session, we are going to start another series which is related to commitment control. So we are going to discuss about all the aspects of commitment control, what is commitment control, why we need that, and what all option we can specify, what will happen if we are not using commitment control, and what will happen if we are using the commitment control. Okay, so these all things we are going to discuss in upcoming sessions, and we have started from today onwards. Okay, so if you remember, in all of our SQL RPGLE program, we were using one option, that is commit equals to start done, and it is a most important, or you can say most asked question for SQL RPGLE, like why we are using commit equals to start done, what is the meaning of it. Okay, so this thing we are going to discuss in today's session, like what is commit equals to start done, what will happen if we are using it, and what will happen if we are not using it, and what all other value we can use. These things we will discuss. So as usual, we will break down all these point into some sessions. Okay, so before we discuss this commitment control program one, let me show you one table, because table we need, right? One table is needed to perform all the operation SQL related operations, and then we will use our commitment control on it. Okay, so just a simple query, I will show you one table query and then we'll perform data on it. So I'm running one query, select star from Sharmit1 slash, and my file name is students. Okay, so you can see we are uh, we have only one record in this file, which is student ID and student name, one and Sharmit. Okay, let me delete this record. Why? Because I want to show you it from a scratch. So delete from Sharmit1 slash students, and just make sure that you are not deleting your file data, because I'm deleting data from my sample programs, right? So make sure you are not impacting your important data. So I just deleted it because I was intended to do this, and you can see there is no record available in this file. Now we will see, we actually this program is for inserting record, and through that example itself we will understand the concept of commit equals to start. So let's walk through it. Okay, let me re-sign in here. There's some issue, so let me re-sign in. Okay, fine. So you can see here, we are setting the option commit equals to start none. We write exec SQL, which is for executing SQL command, and then we are setting option set option commit equals to start none. So what does it mean? It means that we are instructing compiler that do not start commitment control. Clear? So we are instructing by specifying this option commit equals to start none. We are specifying the compiler that do not start the commitment control. Okay, so in this case what will happen, it will be handled automatically. We are not starting it. Once we have started the commitment control, that means we have to take care of the commitment options, right? We have to commit the data. Now what is commit? You can relate it with a very simple example. I will tell you, like, I'm sure that you all have worked on some documents like Word, MS Office related documents, right? Excel, Word. So there are two types of documents, right? One where everything is auto saved. Whenever we are using browser mode, then everything is saved automatically because our data is on Drive or maybe some SharePoint. Okay, so at that moment we are not doing control S while leaving the document, right? We are just making the changes and then simply closing the tab. Okay, but the moment when you are working on your local system, and if you are not pressing control S, then you might lose your data, right? And for sure you will lose your data because you are not saving your document, you are just simply closing it. Although it will give you a warning message, but in that document we saw this thing, right? Same thing is happening here. if you are turning on your commitment control, that means you have to take care of your commitment options. Like you have to commit the data, means you have to save the data. Commit means save. Just keep in mind, commit means save. And if you are not turning on, like here we are not turning it on, we are just setting commit option to none. So in this case, what will happen? Everything will be saved permanently. Okay, so the moment when this query got executed, it will be automatically saved into your system. So this is the best example, I think, uh, for explaining the commitment control. Like if you are saving your document by pressing Control S, that means you are hitting the commit command. Okay, so when we will use this star chg option here, at that moment we are supposed to commit the record. If we are not committing, then it will lose. I will tell you, we will discuss in deep in upcoming sessions, but for now you can just understand that whenever we are setting commit option to star none, that means we are instructing compiler to turn off the commitment control. By specifying this command, we are telling the compiler to not turn on the commitment control. So whatever the changes we are, whatever the operation we are performing will be automatically saved to your file. Okay, so this is the simplest definition for this commit option to star none. Now let's move to the further lines of code. Here what we are doing, we are inserting record. So you can see exec SQL, which is for execute SQL, insert into Sharmit1 slash students, where Sharmit1 is my library name and students is my file name. And then we are passing two values here, uh, means two column we are providing, one and Sharmit, where one is the student ID and Sharmit is the name. After that, we are just checking for the basic thing, like if SQL state is 5 times 0, then it means record is inserted, query executed successfully. Else we are printing the message error occurred and then setting the INLR to start on. One more thing I want to tell you here. Let's assume one scenario where we are in debug mode and we have executed till here only. Okay, and after that we forcefully exit the program. So what will happen? It will automatically save your data into your file. Why? Because this line has been executed, and the moment when this line is executed, at the same time it will save your changes permanently. Okay, but if you are using star chg, then the case would be different. We will discuss in upcoming session about the chg option, where we are supposed to perform commit and all. But in this specific scenario where we are setting the commit option to star none, once the line is executed, at the same moment it will change your file. Okay, so let me show you by executing this program. Okay, maybe there is some issue with my storage, so let me check. dbg view star source. So okay, yeah, there is something wrong with my storage, so let me remove some of the unnecessary code first. Work obj star all, and then let me pause it for a moment. I will delete the unnecessary record and we'll continue from here. Okay, so I have just removed the unnecessary code and now I'm trying to compile it again with dbg view source. So that error was actually because we are using pub 400, right? And there is it is a space limited, we have to take care of space. So due to some extra sources, it was showing me that error, but right now you can see it is compiled successfully without any changes. I just removed the unnecessary objects from my system, then space got free, and then I just compiled it. Now I will show you by calling it. If I call this program, you will see record inserted message, and if you check the file now, you will see that the record has been entered. It is there. Okay, it means the commitment control changes is fixed. Okay, but to explain it more properly, what we will do, we will take this program in debug mode. That will explain you the things. So I will write here strdbg, pressing F4, putting my program name here, and then setting the commit option, these option to yes, update production and OPM source. Then I will set the breakpoint here, pressing F10 to continue and calling the program. Once I press F10, you will see it is executing the SQL. Okay, so we have executed till here only. We have not completed yet, right? But at the same moment, you can check the file again. So let me show you. You can see second record is inserted. Okay, previously we were having only one record, but the second record has been already inserted even though program is not completed. We have not completed the program right yet, right? So this is the impact of star none. When you are setting the commit option to star none, it means you are specifying that uh, we are not using commitment control, so take it handle it by yourself. So that's why once this query is executed, it automatically save your code into your table. Okay, what will happen if I forcefully close this program here? Let me take F3. The moment I take F3, I'm instructing my program to stop immediately. So I'm stopping it here, and you can see we have got the message last request at level 4 ended. That means we have forcefully ended the program. So in this situation, still your data is there. Why? Because we are not using commitment control up, means we have stopped the we have not started the commitment control. So in this situation, it is saved because it is permanently saving once the query is executed. Okay. Okay, one more question. Will it retain the data even after signing of the session? Let's verify it. So I will just run this thing. You can see once I run the command strSQL and F9, data is still there. Both the record is there. Why? Because all the changes is permanent. There is no temporary data, right? So this is the advantage, or you can say disadvantage, both. It is totally depend on your condition. If you want to save it permanently, then it is advantage for you. But if you want to if you don't want to insert the record in case of program failure, in that case it is disadvantage. So it is totally dependent on your situation. But most of the time we always go with this option only, because we are sure that we are going to compile the program when it is okay and we want to insert the data. Okay, so that's why we have set the commit option equals to star none. So I think this is the topic that we were discussing in each session, but at that moment we were just I was just telling you that we will discuss in detail in later. So in this session, I hope this thing is clear to all of you, that whenever we are setting commit option to star none, that then it means that we are specifying that uh, that the that we are not starting the commitment control, and whatever the query we are performing on table will be saved automatically or permanently. It could be delete, it could be insert, it could be update. In all such modification operations, it will change the table or update the table immediately after executing the query. Okay, now we have other options also, like star CHG. That thing we will discuss, and that is also useful because as you see here, right, when we were debugging the program, in case of program failure also it is writing the data, which is not good in some situations, right? So at that moment we need to change the commitment option. So yeah, for the session we just discuss how to use commit equals to star none and what does it mean actually. Okay, so I hope this session is clear to all of you. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.